Hello and welcome back to the channel. As I have already mentioned, there were no news from new perspective from exam site. There were news and editorials from last week based on last week issues or last week some happenings. Editorials are based on that. So ऐसा नया कुछ नहीं था जो हम एग्जाम में इनकलकेट कर सके. So instead of having paper analysis, we will discuss today how to study ethics for UPSC. So without wasting time, let's move forward to ethics. See, whenever it comes to ethics, many people think that it's a very difficult subject, and people are right because it's a difficult subject. Not because it has a critical theory, but instead its application is at the same time in the paper in the exam hall. The application is difficult. It's not about learning is difficult. Learning is very easy, as whenever you finish your ethics syllabus at the time whenever you feel that ethics has done and I have finished whole syllabus, you you will be yourself therapist. That's not the problem. But when it comes to inculcating your answer, it will become a milestone problem, because when we in the exam we don't have that much time to rebuild whole strata that we in daily basis do, because there is limited time and we don't have that much time in the exam, and we have to cover all the sections from ethics paper. And there are two sections, as we all know. There is theory part, there are case studies. One thing I would like to mention about case studies is don't become personal, like don't take case studies as a personal issue, because even I as aspirant, sometimes what has happened to me also when I was new and it was my second attempt, whenever I used to solve the case studies, after two case studies, when it comes to third case study, I or even my friends or colleagues felt that this is my issue, this is not our issue, this is their issue, we just have to give solution based answer. But instead of that, what we done is we take their shoes and we just do like, no, this is my issue, and now if this happened to me, I will do this and I will do that. But it's not the case when it comes to ethics. See, there is nothing black and there is nothing white when it comes to ethics. You always have to give answer in the gray shade. Like, you should not be a, like, see, whenever they ask, if they will not ask, but even if they ask like any government policy or to criticize some policies, it's whenever you write these kind of answers, don't be a rightist fan or don't be a leftist fan. See, this is very clear. See, that's why editorials are important. Whenever you see editorial, they criticize the government which is in the power. At the same time, they oppose the stance of opposition also. It's not like they are only criticizing the government which is in the power and taking the side of opposition party because they are doing nice reforms when they were in the power. So that's not the case. Second and most important thing, when the ethics paper comes, like we have whenever we finished ethics syllabus, we have too much theories, we have too many thinkers that are in our mind, we know their theories, but when it comes to exam, we don't actually get where to apply what. And that's what make us that's what make a big issue when it comes to, see, GS 1 2 3 are paper where we use traditional knowledge, like we can't change history, we can't change environment, and we can't change geography. So the traditional knowledge that we already have and the books that we follow from first attempt to whatever you are giving, everyone has same issue, same content, same sources, same books. So there is nothing new that we can do to value addition. But when it comes to essay and ethics, at the same time, that are the only two factors that will change our marks from this to this or from this to this. Because in GS there is nothing, GS 1 2 3 there is nothing much to value addition. But when it comes to ethics and essay, we have free platform of expressing our own views, at the same time what we think from ethical side perspective. See, whenever I say free platform, into bracket there is a silent phrase that it comes with a cost of marks. Because see, in essay we can inculcate whatever we want, like our point of perspective. There is nothing that they have not stated that only political views are important or only personal views are important. That's not the case when it comes to essay or ethics. But we have to maintain that balance. We don't have to overshade or over support anything. We just have to maintain the balance. And one thing I would like to mention is there should not, examiner should not get idea from which perspective we are talking. Either we are talking from rightist perspective or leftist perspective. So that is the only key thing that we should keep in mind, that our personal views should be involved, but that should not be overshadowed, so that examiner would get that, yeah, this is a person from rightists, and what if unfortunately he is from leftist party, it will obviously affect our marks. So don't give over radical things or over radical views or violent views, because when it comes to ethics, everyone becomes therapist of themselves, and they try to become, problem solver of and typical agni aunt of everyone. Even though we don't have post, we just think that now we are the DM, and just I have to solve this at any cost. And at that time of zone, the only thing that we should understand is being emotionally intelligent is the most important thing. You don't have to be more emotional, or you don't have to be very much like strict and stance that I don't have any effect and I will do this. See, whenever you say I am a very practical person and I am not an emotional person, or I am an emotional person and I am not practical person, in ethics paper or essay paper, you should have maintained both. It's not like sometimes you have to think from emotional side also, sometimes you have to answer from practical side also. So without wasting time, let's go to think that how to study ethics. So whenever we say like studying ethics comes with lot of typical definitions, because we don't know what they will ask, because in 2019 they asked what is happiness and what does happiness means according to you. Now see, there is a difference. When they ask what is happiness, it means you have to generalize the definition of happiness. Like in 3 days they ask definition क्या है, like
डेफिनेशन क्या है?
सर वही तो बता रहा हूँ सर.
kind of typical bookish definition you should inculcate about happiness. And then the next part of the question is what does happiness means to you. There is the chance and there is a platform where you can inculcate your personal experience or your personal opinion about what is happiness. At the same time, this is not 100% personal question. It is also include society. Like you should include society also, that helping society in these kind of manners will make me happy, or these kind of things you should do inculcate in your exam. Even if it's a personal question, you should not like ignore or counterside these kind of things. When it comes to ethics, it comes with lot of definition, lot of keywords: loyal, truthful, transparent, self-driven, whatnot, honest, then disciplined, and the one who has holden on truth, whatever happens. So see, whenever like ethic, say there are theories, there are various theories, but when disaster happens and when the marks become issue in ethics or essay paper is, we don't know where to imply what. We everyone knows the theory. It's not like no one is understanding ethics. Everyone knows ethics, but it comes to implications, and that's where the disaster happens. Like if they ask examples of meta ethics and you are proving how normative ethics is important, then there is no point in, see, those who are new and those who don't know these kind of terms, there is no need to take pressure of these kind of terms, because once you get used to, you will learn that how it's easy to differentiate between normative ethics, meta ethics, and other branches of ethics. So see, whenever you study ethics, don't see things from one perspective. There are many perspectives. How I would, I have one example. See, this is a very basic example, but from that example you will get fair idea about how to check both the sides. See, there are two friends, and one you are meeting that two friends, and when you are going to meet that two of your friends, one beggar came in between of you three, and you are just looking at two of your friends, and the beggar asked for some money. So one of your friend give him 10 rupees and another friend give him 20 rupees. So you think that the one who has given 20 rupees have a whole heart, and he is the person who wears his heart on his sleeves, and he is very helping and he is very caring. And at the same time, in your mind, subconsciously started judging the another friend who has given 10 rupees to that beggar, and you said that this friend is not doing that much social help which another friend is doing. And after some time, when you start talking with them and after 1 hour passed, you realize that the friend which have given 20 rupees had 100 rupees in his pocket, while the friend who has given 10 rupees only has 10 rupees in the pocket. And now your whole perspective has changed, and now you are regretting that you have become too much judgmental about one friend. So ethics is all about dealing with two sides. It's not like you are just hearing one side and giving the solution oriented, because there are victims and we should take that side into account, but at the same time we should take into account another side also. So that's where, see, as an aspirant, that's where we failed. When we think that this is a problem, instead of dealing with the problem, what instead of going in the depth of the problem, that what has caused this problem, we just give solution oriented opinion. And that's why we felt tremendously dis like what would we say, like whatever disaster we do is just in the case studies, because we don't go in the depth of what has happened or what would happen if this doesn't happen. We just give like upar ka solution, and we just sit idle, and then we think, why didn't I got good marks in ethics? So that's where the issue lies. So to deal with it, we will discuss how to inculcate example. See, whenever you study ethics, it's not like you are studying ethics in practical or in theory. Somehow you have to become ethical as a person also. That's why they have inculcated this subject in exam also. See, it's not like I am very truthful, and see, you have to know when you have to lie and you have to say the truth. So game lies in between only. Like, it's not like, see, there is an example in our book also, that there are five people who are running because they have thieves behind them, and they knock your door, you open the door, you take those five people in your house, and at the same time the thieves, they were that following the people, they knock on your doors. Even though the thieves are two, they have weapons, and they knock your door, and you open the door, and they ask you, have you seen those five people, or they have hidden in your home? And instead of saying no, you said yes, because after then the five people got caught. The thieves got caught those five people, and somehow they killed that five people. And you will stick to the no, I just tell the truth, to I can't lie, I am just a truth person, like I will only follow the path towards truth, and I will not lie. But if you lie to that two thieves, the life of five would have seven. So this is the issue, where you have to know that when to apply which theory. Like, you can't apply utilitarianism, at the same time you can't give like metaethics examples also. So this is where contradiction happens. There is one another famous case study. It is based on very true events. Everyone knows, I think, and those who don't know, I will explain in short. The case study's name is lifeboat case. So it's based on true incident. So there were four friends. They went on ocean adventure, and somehow they just get lost in that sea. So they never see. No one thought that we will get lost in the sea, and we have ample amount of food and water. Same case happened with them also. What happened is, they somehow lost in the sea, and they have only a limited amount of food and water has left. So days have passed, and not a single yacht or ship has come to that area to save them or to help them. So 2 weeks passed, and they were out of all food and water. Now there is a question that they can, as we all know, we can't drink that water from ocean directly. So what has happened, they were just thinking about eating and eating, because there was nothing option that has left to them. Then the three of them realized that one of the friend is weak. At the same time, he was ill. On the ship, he became ill. He has not that much immunity, and he just become ill. So three of them discussed that we should kill him, and we should become cannibals to survive ourselves. So one of them was not agreed to it. Two of them somehow agreed, make a deal with each other, and they decided to kill that fourth one. So they killed the fourth one, And see, it's a very true story. It's not like, it's a very horrible at the same, but it's a true story which deals with ethics. So what they did is they killed them, and on his flesh they survived 3 days. And after 3 days, there was a passing yacht, that yacht saw them, that three people, and they rescued them. And when they rescue and came to home, one of the friend who has witnessed this incident, he just become so unstable that he himself confronted that they have murdered their fourth friend. And the case went to the court, and various dramas happened that will you will study in the case study itself, that I will not discuss in depth because it will took a lot time. But see, whenever when the argument was, why the argument was in fire, because three people collectively killed fourth one, which was one of their friend. And at the same time, it's unethical, at the same time it is ethical also. See how it's unethical. They killed their friend. First is, being human is, they become cannibals for his own friend, for their own friend. At the same time, they killed him because he was ill, or he has no immunity left, so that's why they killed him. But what if he has in like normal healthy condition? So this is the thing. Then third and not most important is, see, there is a term in ethics that calls uh, ethical egoism, which means having some ego and selfishness as a human being is important. It's not bad, but it becomes bad when it crosses the limit. Like there is a famous saying in Hindi also, that जो खुद की मदद नहीं कर सकते वो दूसरों की मदद भी नहीं कर सकते, और जो खुद से प्यार नहीं कर सकते वो दूसरों से भी प्यार नहीं कर सकते. So what it inculcates, that those who don't survive on their own, they can't survive others also. So being ethically egoistic person or selfish person is a nice thing, but it's up to a limit. So when we see from this kind of perspective, the three friends who have killed the fourth one has not committed any crime because they have to survive. And there is a theory that we all know, or those who don't know, there is a theory of utilitarianism. So in that theory, they have simply, in simple words, I will say that high proportion ratio is always taken into account. Like if there are 10 people which are at loss, and if there are 50 people which are at profit, then we will only focus on 50 people. Like it's a ratio based, like those who are at huge like in huge amount, we will take that community or that thing into account instead of dealing with less number of people or less number of community. So when we see from this side of theory, we think that three people have done right thing because they save themselves. And at the same time, when we see it from human being or normal human category, we found it like it's a very horrific act that has they committed to a friend, and it is very heinous crime that has done against a human by human itself. So Jeremy Bentham, he is a founder of modern utilitarianism theory. He has stated that, see, whenever like thinkers you have in you are including in your answer whatever thinker is, it may be Immanuel Kant or Aristotle or Jeremy Bentham. Whenever you involve these kind of people, have in mind you should know their theory as well, because at the time we finish our ethics syllabus, we have too much thinkers and we have too much theories. So what has happened in many times that we do theory to, like, we mismatch pairs of their theories, and that comes to negative marking also. So whenever you inculcate in your answer any thinker and theory, please have be aware of, like, you are mentioning correct thinker and his correct theory, don't confuse in between. So if you see this theory from two perspective, like if you see this case study from two angles, so that is the case that it is ethical, at the same time it is unethical also. So after a lot of debate, there were a lot of thinkers that involved in the case. So what they did is they charged of prison to death to three of their friends, all three friends, because they murdered innocent friend and innocent human being at first. And then after also a lot of debate caught fire that people, judge or the courts are not taking into account huge amount of life instead of dealing with one. So after the lot of debate that caught fire, they have commuted to 6 months of prison to that three people. So this is a very famous case. It is also in syllabus also. So that's how you have to deal with these kind of issues when it comes to ethics and case studies. So in next lecture we will study meta-ethics, branches of ethics, deontology, emotional intelligence, and at the same time we will try to cover other thinkers also, because see, whenever you see or whenever you include in exam any theory or any your opinion, it should be it should have based upon at least one or two thinkers. That's where that answer stables, and that's where the answer made impact on examiner. So thinkers are like very important. It's not like you know the theory, but you see there are people and there are aspirants who does like they have many theories, they know each and every ethical term, but they don't study thinkers. They just mention that this theory, like altruism is a theory that deals with xyz, utilitarianism is a theory that deals with abcd, and they don't mention the thinkers that have mentioned or that have discovered the theory. And that doesn't make any sense to examiner, and it does nothing but it just reduces your marks, and that's how you failed in ethics. So do take into that account and see there are cases which are very critical and there is no solution to these kind of cases. It's not like we have to provide solution. And whenever they ask, see, there is myth also that they ask things like you are the only swimmer in your family and now three people are drowning, and then how will you save? See, there is no ideal answer to these kind of things. Even the lifeboat case which I mentioned earlier also, उसका कोई ऐसा परफेक्ट सॉल्यूशन नहीं है कि जब इफ आई वाज देयर. सी देयर इज अनदर counter segment and counter argument also. What if they three of friends have waited for 3 days and that yacht came and rescued the four of them? The four of lives will be like four will be at the same place and safe place, but they killed the fourth one. But at the same time the three doesn't know, they have no idea about the yacht will come or they will rescue us, because from last 2 weeks there were not a single ship that came across their ship to help them or to rescue them. So see, whenever there are case studies, there is no perfect solution or there is no ideal answer. You just have to counter attack with theories, thinkers, at the same time implications of how a basic ethical person will behave. Then another thing I would like to mention is most of the time start your answer with somewhat negative points, like negative in the sense not negative, but uh, again I would say egoistic person should be there at the start of the answer. When you end the answer, there should be a ethical reason, very ethical perfect reason that should be end the answer. Because if you start answer with the positive outcomes that I will do this, I will provide this, and under this act I will imply the whatever the situation is, I will handle the situation in only these kind of things, I will be truthful. And then if you end the answer with negative repercussions, it will make your marks negative also. So it will affect your answers somehow. So see, it's not like you have to present yourself as a selfish in the exam, but you have to see, first of all, whenever they ask a normal case study where you have not involved, then you are the examiner of that case study, and now you have to uh, say some way forwards or say give some solutions, ideal solutions to tackle with the situation. But there will be some case studies where you also involved and they have asked you what will you do in these kind of cases. So in that case, first secure your place and then give opinions. See, it's not of selfish nature, it's of ethical egoism nature, which one should always have. And as an administrative purpose also, you should always think from your side first and then other side first. So this is the only thing that how you deal with the case study. So in upcoming lectures we will study meta ethics, deontology, and other thinkers also. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.